Good morning. Welcome to today's Harmonization. So great to have you on. God bless you. Hope you're having a beautiful Saturday here. If you're watching this in real time, if not, whatever day of the week you are having, I hope it is magical, full of wonder, full of blessings, full of love, all that jazz. So today I was going to read another excerpt from Anastasia. I did that yesterday, and just kind of going backwards in my notes and places that I've bookmarked, earmarked, and this gives me a good way to review it myself and share some of these insights that I found intriguing, and I think that they go for most of the collective, at least for a reminder. Good morning, Natalia. Great to see you. So, where do we want to start with this? So this book takes place in Russia, and it was written in the early 2000s. So very recent as far as books go, as far as most of what I read. Sometimes I'm reading stuff from well before BC. So this is fairly recent, and they're talking about the state of the economy in Russia, and there's some really interesting parallels to the United States and some of the tactics that politicians use, industry uses, depending on in every country to create a certain perspective on things. And the more a perspective is repeated, the more that it becomes the reality. It becomes believed. It becomes believed by more people. So I'm going to just read a couple paragraphs here and then kind of talk about how I see this showing up for each of us. I don't think any of it's going to be really new material, but maybe some deeper insights and definitely great reminders for you. Maybe something will click and be like the first time you ever even thought of that. God bless you either way. And let me know what you think of this stuff. And I might share a little more of these readings as we go forward, just because there's so much great information out there. It's great to inspire people to pick up books. This book is Who Are We? It's book 5, I think, book 5 in the series. So here we go on page 137. It's Vladimir, the writer of the book, talking about some of his observations. He goes on to say, you hear constant talk from both politicians and the media of the widespread poverty in the Russian countryside today, just as the majority of the population at large. There's so much talk about it that everybody in mass ends up convinced that if you live in the countryside, you must be poor. There are hardly any examples cited indicating that your well-being largely depends on you. It must be in somebody else's interest to keep rehearsing the scenario. Don't rely on yourself. I'm the only one that can make you happy. That's what you hear from a lot of religious leaders, as well as a lot of politicians gathering up their own circle of voters around them. If you want to be poor and destitute, you can go right on believing them. I want to talk now, not how to be poor, but how to be rich. When someone asks me if it's possible to live above the poverty line with one's own parcel of land, and I answer yes, and here's a concrete example. So he goes on to give a concrete example, and read it for the example. I think we hear all kinds of stories of rags to riches, people making their own way. You know, the American dream, or the coming through success. There's so many of those stories out there. Yet there is still this narrative being repeated. And I might mention that this narrative of don't rely on yourself, I'm the only one that can make you happy, has been repeated so much by the politicians, by the media, that people begin to use it in their relationships, even in their most intimate relationships, even with their relationship with their children. And it creates such a deep dependency. And what happens is, the moment I stop relying on myself, the moment I give up and I believe that happiness is somewhere out here, is the moment I gave away my power, all of my power, all of my power. So anybody saying to you, don't rely on yourself, I can make you happy, whether they're conscious of it or not, they are directly attempting to infiltrate and steal your power. And this is going on right now with an election coming up in the United States. It's big news. Just look at which party is saying, rely on yourself. We're going to create a nice structure for you to be able to thrive and prosper in and seek opportunity. And those who actually seek the opportunity and hold fast to the desire of their heart, their mind, the people that actually put the energy in, we're going to create a structure for them to be successful and create whatever opportunity they would like, as ordained by God, in line with God, like down to manifestation, right? There's that we talk about this all the time, and holding thoughts on things and coming through the essence of the spirit of what is to be created next, and letting that be the guide. And then there's another party saying, we're going to take care of everything. We're going to take care of everything for you. And we're just going to tax these people over here, and they're going to pay for it. Right? So there's one party saying, and there's really two main parties in the United States right now. And we're witnessing a time where truth is being rewritten. The his story, he in history is being written before our eyes. Trump gets impeached, and he was the worst president ever. And he would go down in the history books as a major failure, no matter what good he has done. If that happens and goes through, and we get the new people in, they will say the best things about themselves and the worst things about the other guy. And guess what? The opposite happens. Trump stays in, Trump wins 2020, and he's going to say his way is the best way. And that's what's going to be written in the history books. And the other guys will go by the wayside. I'm not going to say who's the better one. What I am going to say is, I like to call attention to people that say, don't rely on yourself. I'm the one that can make you happy. That's the person to steer clear of. That's the person that's attempting to infiltrate your mind, your emotions, and steal your power. The only person you can rely on through and through is the one you look at in the mirror every single day. The only one that can make you happy is that person you look at every single day. The only one that can make you rich. I mean, granted, somebody could write you a check. They got to be inspired to. They're going to be inspired by who? They're going to be inspired by you. It's up to you to create your own destiny. It's like getting in the car with a stranger and letting them drive. Otherwise, get in the car with someone you don't know. They say, I'll get you there. Don't rely on yourself. You may get there. You may. You may not. Yeah, Shelley, absolutely. I mean, that's that essence of God. That's in permeating every single thing that's living. So that's what we tap into here in the harmonization. Let's tap into that essence of God that lives within each one of us, and bring forth that from our hearts, and make sure we're walking in the essence as God would have you done it. And Fizz, I see you got policies of both these parties are responsible for stealing more land of natives. And we can get into a debate on politics. This is not a political show. There is one party that clearly is empowering people, and there's one party that's clearly grabbing power. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to say which one's which. You can hear it in their language. You can hear it in their language. And we could talk about past things that have happened. We could talk about future things that may happen. All I know is we are in this situation that we're in. And if you guys want to talk to me about this stuff offline and have a debate, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm down to have a full-length conversation. It's just not the scope of this. And you're absolutely right, Fizz. It depends on who you are. It depends on your perspective, your paradigm. But if somebody's going to hand me things for free, don't think there's not a thing attached to it. There's always something attached to that thing that's free. And you can decide whatever. Like I'm not even saying who's the right one or the wrong one on any of this stuff. All I'm saying is rely on yourself. I'm saying don't actually rely on that guy that says don't rely on yourself, or woman, that they're the one that's going to make you happy. I'm saying you, whether it's a political comment, whether it's political, media, your boss, your lover, your friend, your lover, your parent, your child, you are completely 100% responsible for your reality. And anybody that supports you in that, I keep that person close. Anybody that tells me I'm going to do it for you, I might appreciate some support, or doing it for me. That's not using my karma up. It's not going to give me the growth that I need. And Fizz, I'll be more than happy to talk to you offline. There is, of course, more than this. There's always more than this. Yet, this is all here and now. And there's going to be some paradigms completely blown up over the next few years. I know mine has been completely blown up, and it may be mine again. My paradigms around all of this stuff have changed so much as I've collected more information on more sides and become more aware of what's going on. There's a revolution happening, and the people are taking control back. It's very, very obvious. You got it in Hong Kong, you got it in Chile, you got it in Ecuador, you got it in the United States, you got it in Britain, you got it in France, you got it in Puerto Rico. People are taking responsibility and not letting any specific government leader, like ideally to me, this whole government thing goes away because we all know our own code of honor and we're all living divine source. That's the way I'm looking at things. So I'm not choosing a political party or telling somebody what to believe. And I'm not going to get into first word in a sentence is but. It really means don't even listen to it. That means I'm going to negate everything just said. So that all being said, let's just drop into our hearts here. And we know the truth in our hearts, whatever the truth is. I'm not telling you to believe my truth. I'm telling you to believe your truth, whatever it may be. So even if it's complete opposite of what you think my truth may be right now. So maybe open up those shoulders a little bit. And let's just drop into our hearts and really feel like what is the most empowering thing that can flow through me as me being the most empowered state. It's not about what Ian says. It's not about what Emily over there says. It's not about what Trump or Pelosi or Schumer or Schiff, what anybody says. This is straight into my heart. It's not about Facebook posts. It's not about what my friends think. It's not about what Wall Street Journal said. This is tapping in to something from within, learning the truth from within. That's all we're doing here. And we may get different truths. And that's totally perfect in divine order. So open up those shoulders. Breathing into belly, breathing into the chest, holding at the top, tucking the chin back. And let's calm down, because politics is such a charged thing these days. Let's practice calming down, coming to perfect peace and calm through our breath immediately. Just settling into the breath. Letting the sound clear the space. And just noticing the breath. The exhale, exhaling as much air out as possible. Inhale and fill in the belly, the chest, holding at the top. And becoming aware of converting this oxygen to carbon dioxide. Each exhale feeding the plants, the whole kingdom of the plants, living off of my exhalation. Now fusing each breath with an intention as it passes through the body and it's alchemized from the oxygen to carbon dioxide. Adding the essence of love, freedom, courage. Whatever vibration you choose, whatever you're holding in your heart, each breath is sending out that vibration into the universe. Each inhalation filling with the light, filling with the love. And each exhalation gifting this vibration forward. Noticing this infinite well of energy, of life, of allowance. The infinite power that flows through the heart. Bringing attention to that peace in the heart, that acceptance, and exhaling that out into the ethers. Bringing the attention to the center of the heart, the tiniest quantum particle. And notice the life, the greatness springing forth from even the smallest portion of my existence. looking into that smallest part of me, the life force that is available from that smallest bit. The courage that's erupting just to exist. And now spreading that energy throughout every single cell in the body. And expanding beyond the body. Filling the room, filling your city, filling your state, Providence, filling your country, filling the ethers of the entire world with this vibration of pure love, of allowance, of courage, freedom. The liberated soul, bringing the hands in front of the heart in prayer position, pressing them together. Breathing in, feeling the expansion of the chest and the back, pressing the hands together. Knowing that I am the light, the life, and the truth. And committing to speaking it, seeing it, hearing it, being one with oneness. Lowering the hands down. Noticing the harmony within. Gently opening the eyes. Thank you all so much for joining today. God bless you. Hope you have the most amazing day ever. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. And all the comments and everything. I really appreciate it. Have a blessed and amazing, beautiful day.